हम बात कर रहे हैं सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री इन पाकिस्तान पे, और आज हमारे साथ एक रशियन जेंटलमैन आइगोर बैख्टिन हैं जो कॉलवियर कंपनी के बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट मैनेजर हैं, और उनके साथ पाकिस्तानी कंपनी जो कोलैबोरेट करी उनके साथ उनके सैयद हमजा मतीन साहब हैं. थैंक्स फॉर ब्रिंगिंग योर बिजनेस टू पाकिस्तान. वी विश यू वेरी गुड लक हियर, and with partners like Mr. Matin, I'm sure you will do well. Igor, before we come to your thing, what I want to come out from this program is to see where we are standing in terms of overall software industry. What are the potentials here? How many jobs can be created with the efforts of collaboration like yours? So, with your permission, I would like to start with Mr. Matin.
Absolutely.
Mr. Matin, give us an overview of the software industry in Pakistan. Where we are standing, especially like cricket, we are very much keen to know where we stand in competition to India.
Yes.
We know that India has taken a big stride with in the last 20-30 years. We are probably no more close to them, but still we are a fighting nation, you know.
Yes, yes.
In cricket, if we can fight in software as well.
Okay. That's great. Basically, if you look at the Indian model, they have been very successful last 10-15 years. And then one of the
what is the total export they're doing in terms of?
I think it's in 30 billion.
30
plus.
billion.
Excellent.
Which is more than our total export for the whole country.
Yes, definitely.
Just from IT.
Just from IT. And that had happened only in last 15 years.
15 years?
15
I thought
years.
it was longer.
No, it's actually started in last 15-20 years. And the reason for that, because at the time the PC revolution was going on, the internet was opening up, a lot of outsourcing was going in, and they were able to position themselves, and they invested rightly, in the right way. They market themselves rightly. They had a very good network of our expat community. Although we have left, left behind in that scenario, but technology is ever-changing thing. So although we are even fraction, maybe the figures are like 200 to 250 million US, and if you
our figure is 250 million US.
Yes.
At the moment.
Yes, but
compared to 30 billion of.
Yes, that 30 billion, they also include the remittance from the IT workforce which goes out.
I see.
So if you take that in account, so our industry over $2 billion, you can say that.
Right.
Yes, if you account for the services are included, because there's a certain criteria where you there is no shipment, there is no cargo movement, there is very hard to
see anything.
Yes,
through the internet it comes
it goes in.
Bits and bytes over the wires.
Yes.
That's process.
Definitely. So the only way we could compete and do something worthwhile, I think, is to bank on the next technology revolution.
I see. That's a very bright idea.
Yeah, and see where we can chip in, because technology can change any time, and companies can
What you're saying is that even if we were left behind in several stages of the technology, where India took the lead, but technology keeps on changing. Even if you become a big expert in one particular technology, if the next technology comes and you cannot catch up, then you're lost.
You're lost.
Exactly.
You have to be proactive and see what's coming up. Maybe nanotechnology, biotechnology, something like mobile applications. Anything can really change the whole scenario. Microsoft 20 years back was one of the inspiring growing company, but these days they're having a hard time competing with these Googles and Amazons of this world, and iPhone and Apple, because of the technology change. So they have to cope up very quickly with those changes.
This is one industry where there's no scope for sleeping or company.
Yeah, you cannot. It's one of the fastest moving industry.
You cannot just rest anywhere.
You cannot rest.
You have to keep running to be in the race.
Definitely.
You are gone.
You have to be on your toes and look around all the way. So for Pakistan, I think one of the key areas was collaboration with international companies, and I think that is the area we should have been focusing for last decade now. So if we have done that, that would really help us, could have helped us bringing more jobs in Pakistan and providing.
That's where Mr. Igor Bakhtin comes. Mr. Matin, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
To our country. As Mr. Matin said, it is the collaboration which will bring in the business. The Indians also did not do it alone. I remember when I was in Emirates, one British colleague of ours left along with an Indian colleague, and they started a software company way back in 84, 85. I'm talking about a very long time. And what they were trying to do was they were the development guys. So they said, the thing which we are doing sitting in Abu Dhabi, we can do much cheaper in Bangalore. And then they created a company, and that company became very, very big success.
Absolutely.
So it's always two things joining. What's the background of your company and what you are doing at the moment? What software you have developed, which you are trying to market here?
The background of my company is somewhat complicated. It's a company that came to be because some like-minded people from the United Kingdom and from Russia got talking about the software industry, and it emerged from their conversation that there is a niche in the banking software market yet to be filled, a niche that required software products giving the users, especially the business users, a lot of empowerment so that a bank or another type of financial institution would not have to go back to the vendor and ask for modifications to the software where some change has occurred in the environment, be that legal environment, economic environment, or whatever. And that is exactly the kind of software they set out to develop. The British side,
the challenge for ex-Soviet Union countries,
among others,
among others, process was changing.
Yeah, among others. In the ex-USSR countries, yes, change was a daily occurrence because it's probably very typical of the Russian mentality. We first destroyed everything we had. The economy, the military, everything was torn down.
Very tragic part of human history.
Exactly.
Whenever I think of that, 90s to 2000,
late 80s, early 90s, horrible time for Russia. And
that's not the way to change.
No,
it would have changed gradually.
No, absolutely. But that's the way the powers that be chose to do it at that particular point in time. So what happened was that the economy was destroyed, the military was destroyed, the education system was destroyed, the health service was destroyed, social safety network was no longer there, and then they started building things from scratch. And because things were built from scratch, a lot of things had to be invented. And
that's the
it was trial and error method that was applied at that time. So a piece of legislation would be introduced to regulate banking, for example. Then, a couple of months later, they would start making changes to that legislation. And change was a daily occurrence. This change made at the level of national law would then be multiplied by a huge factor through various sorts of circulars, regulations issued by the central bank and other regulatory bodies, and banks had to survive in that environment. The economic environment kept changing at a similar pace as things got privatized, rules of play changed, everything kept changing. So banks and other financial institutions in those type of circumstances needed systems that could be easily adapted to the change by the business users themselves. And that is exactly the kind of system that this newly established company set out to develop. The finance came from the UK side. Banking technology came from the UK side because a consulting firm in the City of London was hired to define the business requirements. But all the IT skills came from the Russian and the rest of ex-USSR side because those type of skills came out of the defense industries.
I see.
Doing nothing, they were